I want to speak to what I'm feeling right now because I'm hoping that in 30 minutes or some future point, I won't be feeling the way that I'm feeling. And so then I won't be able to describe it as well. And I'm certain that some of you feel at times the way I'm feeling right now. And for me, it's a combination of overwhelm and frustration. uh, my mind and my feelings are just spinning in circles constantly because I feel like I should know how to get myself out of this trap of negative thinking, which I've been in now for what seems like 20 hours or so. And I, of course, slept in that time period, and I've listened to positive affirmations that I've recorded to myself. I've meditated for an hour at least, or done something like meditation during this time period. I've talked to two different coaches, and I'm still in this place where I'm completely overwhelmed with life, with the things I feel like I should do, or just with the way that I'm feeling too. That just adds to it in a downward cycle because I know that I'm choosing this. I'm creating this. I'm creating the feelings that are within me. All the emotions, the negativity that I'm feeling are only within me, and I'm creating them through my thoughts and my personal beliefs. And that in and of itself is frustrating, and because I should know how to change my thoughts, how to change my feelings and emotions, how to change my beliefs, how to give myself new beliefs and feelings and emotions that will make me feel confident and feel peaceful, that I will know that everything is coming to me that I desire, that things are working out, that things already have worked out. And even despite the hours I spent with coaches and meditating and listening to affirmations, someone can approach me. Like a few minutes ago, my wife approached me and just asked me, "So, do you want to go do this thing since you're not doing this other thing right now?" And immediately I was overcome. I thought I was in a decent place, but the negative emotions came flooding back right then as I realized that I was not prepared to accept a request from my wife to go do something that she thought that maybe we should be doing right now, when I've already got a list of 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 other things that I already feel like I should be doing, but I'm not doing them. And I'm sitting here trying to meditate away. Am I trying to escape and run away from my feelings with my meditation? Um, I want to create some positive emotions and to create this positive space and be emotionally sovereign. And I want to come from a, a space of peace and confidence and faith and love and service. So I don't know if anybody else has the same kind of experiences that I have when you've gone through a great morning ritual, you've drank some water, maybe you've gone for a walk, as I like to do, and done some breathing, just some deep breath work. And then you've even meditated and whatever else that you do in your morning ritual. And I do several things. And then you come and ask God or the universe in prayer or in meditation, what should I be doing today? What's the most important thing? Not even what should I be doing, but just inspire me. And then I sit for a second and look for intuition to guide me on what should be done today. And if I sit there for 30 seconds waiting for that intuition, I get 30 answers. If I sit there for 100 seconds, I get 100 answers. I brain dump. I will type out everything that comes to my mind. There's usually not one very clear thing that comes to me that I feel just so moved and inspired to go do. It's more like 30 or 100 different things. And the list very quickly becomes overwhelming. And these are 30 to 100 new things every day. I can do this every day and get a new list. And nothing stands out as the most important thing. If I've set aside an hour or 2 hours in the morning or in the afternoon to work on whatever comes to me that day, and I just want to pick the most important thing to work on in that hour, I don't clearly identify what that single most important thing is. I feel like they're all important. And not only that, but if I were to be asked how long those items on the list are going to take, I can make a guess for each one, and I'm almost certain that my guess will be wrong by a factor of 4 to 6 or 10 or whatever. Like, I'll guess it'll take me an hour to get some task done, and it'll really take me 4 to 6 or 10 hours. And so even if I picked something, even if I knew what was the most important thing on my list that I could get done in this next hour, and even if I did identify that and pick it, it would take me all day to make a dent in that project. And then when the day ends, I get to a space looking back on my list of tasks that came to me for the day of 30 to 100 different things, and I've done half of one, if I was able to even pick. And so overwhelming. And I think to myself, what did I do today? And of course, I did actually lots of other things. I mean, I did the morning routine, the breath work, and the water and the walking, and I did, and maybe I went to a couple different meetings, which, you know, were on my list, and I guess I decided those were important, and I went ahead and did them, and I attended them, or I talked to a coach, or maybe I even coached a client, worked with somebody. Maybe I did create another video, or I spent time with my wife. I had a date activity with her. I definitely spent time with my children. I do that almost every day. I do feel that that's important. And I had a good time with them. I ate dinner, of course, which I might forget to do if my wife weren't around to help me even remember to do that. And so there are lots of things that I actually did in the day. It's not like I sat there and did nothing. I usually don't spend the entire day watching YouTube or scrolling through Facebook. Or even reading the news. I do a little bit of all of those things, and I used to do a lot more of them, but I don't. So I am getting some things done, but absolutely at the end of the day, I get to a place where I look at the list and I think, what did I do? I didn't get the things done that I wanted to do. I didn't get by any stretch of the imagination, a majority of my tasks done. I didn't even get sometimes a majority of a single task done. I didn't get the most important task done because I couldn't figure out even what that was, or even if I did figure out what it was, I didn't get it done. And it's just this feeling of complete failure. And then sometimes, like I say, I get completely off on a different track from the things that I thought I was going to do that day, which is fine, especially if I did receive some intuition about doing something important that wasn't on that list. For example, yesterday, the feeling and the intuition that came to me was just, I really need to be there for my wife. I need to help her and support her with the children, with the homeschooling and the virtual learning, and with running the kids to, some of the kids go to live school and needed to be run to and from school and to and from their activities, their sports. And other kids are doing homeschooling and needed some help with that and some homework. And I felt the strong impression yesterday to give my wife a break, which I did. And I did all those other things that I just mentioned by taking kids to and from activities and spending time with them. And so I could check, sure, those things off my list, but the things that were on my list for the day, none of them got done. And so at the end of the day, just this overwhelm and frustration, as I've said, as I think to myself, you know, what am I doing? I'm not really accomplishing the tasks I need to be accomplishing to serve others and thus create value for others. And so receive value and provide for my family, which then comes back to haunt me because I hear the echoes of my own voice in my head and the voice of my wife saying that I'm not doing the best job as a husband and father providing for my family. Again, I'm telling myself this, and I'm speaking negatively towards myself, that I'm not creating the wealth that I should be creating. I'm not creating the contribution to the world that I should be creating, and lots of shoulds. And I sit here in this space of negativity and self attack, negative self-talks. And I recognize that I don't want to be in this space and that I'm creating it for myself. And I know that I should be able to speak positively to myself and change that. And again, then the negative comes again. Should. You should be doing better. You should be saying positive things. You should know how to get out of this. And then I'll sit there, like I say, and I'll meditate for an hour, telling myself, well, first of all, trying to focus just on my breathing, trying to focus just on being, trying to focus just on existing and on feeling what's in my body from the top down. And my brain will run through and I'll try to tell myself, I'm not my body. I'm not these feelings. I'm not the person who even interacts with my wife in a certain way. I'm not the person who interacts with my children in a certain way. I'm not the person who's having these experiences. I'm the being, the entity, the energy watching this. I'll tell myself this as I'm sitting in this meditative state, going through the last 24 hours in my mind, going through my body in my mind, going through the teachings and the knowledge and the learning that I have received over years of studying with and working with coaches and mentors. And I'll go through all this in my mind and remind myself, I just am. And that's enough. I just am. I am more than enough. I am loving awareness. I am the space and the energy in the atoms. I am, and just so many other things that I have been taught. And then I'll focus on a mantra or I'll focus on my breathing and I'll do all this and I'll feel at peace in that moment. And then I come out of that moment and I go get a drink of water, go use the restroom. I want to spend more time meditating, or maybe I'll have a little bit of an inclination to get something done on that super long task list. And then, like I say, my wife comes up to me and says, well, if you're not going to go to the seminar that you were going to go to today, if you're not going to go spend time with your friends, why don't we go do this other thing? And then my heart starts pounding and I start sweating and I feel again that I'm not enough. Why can't I deal with these emotions? So that's what I'm feeling right now. So that's the overwhelm and the frustration that I wanted to record and document. And I know that the answers are within me, that all I need is within me now. That I am more than enough, that I'm a child of God, that I have infinite worth, that I'm always more than enough, and that everything happens for a reason, even this, and everything just works out for me, and that I'm a completely unique expression of creation, just like the mountain pictured behind me, and all the trees, and they're beautiful exactly as they are. You don't have to look at them and say, oh, this part needs to change. That this picture can't be beautiful because it's just a little too dry looking. No, it's just a completely unique expression of creation. It is what it is. You don't pick it out and say, well, that's not a very good expression of creation. No, it is. It's exactly as it is. And so am I. And I know that I don't need to get any of the things done on my list. And I'm enough. And I could get all the things done on my list. And I'm enough. And all the things that are on my list are already done. Or they're not. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't change my infinite worth. And my wife and children could be out of the picture, could leave me because I don't provide well enough. And it doesn't matter. I'm still enough. Or they could stay and they could love me wholeheartedly because I get it all done and because I provide wealth and because I take care of them and protect them and provide for them. Or they could stay and love me and I don't provide for them and take care of them and whatever. None of it matters. I'm enough. I just am. I just exist. And I get to experience these emotions that I'm feeling right now. I get to experience them throughout my body, but I am not my body. I get to experience them in the electrical impulses that come through all my senses, through my sensory organs, throughout my body. I get to experience it in my soul, in my heart, in my emotions. I just get to be and just get to sit in it. I don't need to run from it. I don't need to create anything new. I get frustrated even when I say I should be able to create something new. I should be able to create better emotions. I should and I need to be more positive, but I don't need to. I can just sit here and be this. And then I get in this circle and I say, but I don't want to. I want to create better things in my life. And in order to create better results in my life and to bring about better and a better environment about me, I need to have a more positive internal being, and I need to be more emotionally sovereign. I tell myself, need, should. And I don't. I can be and just be. And I'm okay and I'm enough. All I need is within me now. I'm a child of God with infinite worth. Everything just works out for me. I'm a completely unique expression of creation. And I am always more than enough. And what I am feeling right now is enough. And what I have created right now is enough. What I have created in the future is enough. I am. I exist. And I am grateful for exactly who I am. And I'm grateful for all the things that are a part of my life. I am exactly where I need to be. I am exactly who I should be. I do not need to be anything else. I do not need to be anywhere else. I do not need to have accomplished anything else. When I was a baby, I was exactly where I needed to be. I was exactly who I needed to be. I did not need to have accomplished anything. And I was completely loved and adored. And I was more than enough. When I was a child, I did not need to be anyone else. I did not need to do anything else. I did not need to accomplish anything else. I was a completely unique expression of creation and a child of God with infinite worth. And I was completely loved and adored. And I was more than enough. And now that I'm an adult and a husband and a father, I do not need to be anywhere else. I do not need to do anything else. I do not need to change anything about myself. I do not need to change anything about the people around me or the circumstances. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am a child of God with infinite worth. I am a completely unique expression of creation. And I'm exactly where I need to be, and I am exactly who I need to be. And all that I need is within me now. And I know these things. I know them here. And I want to know them here. And I am frustrated because even as I say these things over and over, they don't create this wonderful, peaceful feeling at the moment. They create a little more stress and a little more sweat. As I tell myself, yes, but I don't feel this. It's not working. It doesn't need to be working. And I've been feeling this way for weeks. It's come off and on. I've been wanting to create an emotional state where I feel like I'm in a 9 out of 10, a 9 or a 10 out of 10 positive energy state where I just feel super excited with everything that I'm doing and creating, with everything that's coming my way, where I can visualize and imagine and embody all the things I'm trying to create and get super excited about them and just know with absolute certainty that they are on their way. Where I can feel the flow state, where I can feel this positive energy. I've been wanting to create that. And instead, I've spent most of the last several weeks, even as I've been trying to create that I'm trying to create this energy. And instead, what I feel is this level 4 to 6 middle ground state, and these constant negative self-talk and these cycles of frustration, knowing that I should be able to do better again. should. I should, and I need, and I must. I'm not enough, and I'm not doing it right. I just want to let it go. I just want to be. And I should know exactly what to do, and I should know exactly who to talk to, and I should know. And it's not working. So, from this space that I've tried to express here in this video, I'm going to turn off the video. I'm going to do some more meditation. I'm going to listen to some gurus. I'm going to do some breathing. Focus is to just be. To just be the energy in the atoms and in the space between the atoms. To be here in the universe and to know that I'm a completely unique expression of creation and that I am always more than enough and that I am a child of God with infinite worth and that I do not need to be or do or should or must anything else. And to accept exactly where I am and who I am. And I pray and I plead with my Heavenly Father and with the universe and with the light and energy inside me and through me and in all things and through all things and round about all things to inspire me, to lift me, to be with me. So that I can be enough.